Excellent, that's what are you going to come again? Woo! Only you said you're on next, so you come on. Right. Okay, so let's kick on with our second part, as I say. Next up, a good mate of mine, a good friend of mine, a comedy pal. And if he tells you once more that he's worked with Warwick Davis, just tell him to fuck off. Because he's used that one quite a few times. So, again, we're going to have to start the round of applause with you guys now because they've left 7p in there, right, and then sodded off. So, round of applause, can we start with you? And work our way around for Mr. George Coppen!
Hello! Woo! Germans have left. Fucking disablists. Yeah, hello. Thanks, Dan. Yes, my name is George Coppen. I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. And I'm also a professional dwarf. Yeah. I recently became professional after filling out the PDF. Sir, do you know what PDF stands for? I will tell you. It stands for Professional Dwarf Forms. Yeah, not a lot of people know that. But I know what you're thinking, and it's the same thing everybody thinks when they see me. God, that guy from Game of Thrones had a nasty accent, hasn't he? Just to be clear, I'm not Peter Dinklage, okay? People behind there, for context, I'm wearing a Peter Dinklage t-shirt. Good, you're on speed? Good, fantastic. Yeah, this is Peter Dinklage, this is me. I haven't put myself on a t-shirt. My ego isn't that big. Yet. But I am actually a big fan of Peter Dinklage. I really do look up to him. To be fair, I look up to about 99% of people, but that's not the point. Now, I want to tell you about my school days. School days were quite hard for me, especially when the careers advisor would come up to me and go, "So George, what do you want to be when you grow up?" I'll let you know. But there was some of my favourite days at school, and I don't know if any of you lot remember this, were those days where you went off timetable for the whole day, did random shit, you remember? And we had one of those in like year 10, it was a careers day. So we had different people from different jobs coming in to chat. One of them was the guy from the army came in to do a talk. And he got us all lined up, he went, "Right, I want you lot to run from there to there and back, and who's ever last has to do 10 push-ups." So I looked down there. I looked down there. Yeah, only dwarf. So I put my hand up. He went, "Yes, what do you want?" I went, "Excuse me, do you mind if I just do the 10 push-ups now? We get rid of the race." Because I can guarantee you, I'm going to be last. Heck, I will put a 10 on the fat kid tripping, bouncing, and still beating me. He said to me, he looked me dead in the eye, dead serious, and went, "No! You've got to believe in yourself." I thought I did believe in myself. Clearly not as much as what this guy believed in me. But his confidence obviously rubbed off to some of the other kids. Because a few weeks later we had a sports day. Again, one of my favourite days. I know what you're thinking, but let me explain. The reason why it was one of my favourite days is because basically I would do nothing. I would sit on the field with my mates who were in different years. Yeah, just do nothing for the rest of the day. I stopped. Apart from this year. Because we put down all what sport we want to do. And as we were leaving, the teacher went, "Anybody who hasn't put their name down is automatically on the reserved list." So anyway, gets to the day, gets to about lunchtime, nothing. I think I'm good here. Then I hear whispers, "George, you've been picked. George, you're doing a sport." Then get the head of year coming up to me and says, "George, you've been randomly selected to do a sport this afternoon." And this is all true, by the way. So I went, "Okay, what sport? What am I doing?" "The long jump." Yeah, the long jump. Okay. Now, I'm lazy. I will be the first to tell you I'm lazy. Not even I am that fucking lazy! If I pulled out the dwarf's name out of the hat, I would go, well, you never know. What made it worse was the other kids. One of them came up to me and went, don't let us down, George. Like, seriously, you see this as well, yeah? You're not blind, you see this? Yeah, and you don't want me to disappoint you in the long jump? Well, you get ready, because in about an hour you are going to be disappointed. Then one of the other kids came up to him and went, give it your best shot, George. You never know. I fucking do know. So anyway, I turned up, 3 of the tallest lads in the year were there. And they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them. And they're looking at me. I love that joke, because the only time in my life I can pretend I'm looking down on someone. So anyway, they said, what are you doing here? Don't know, you tell me. But what really added insult to injury was I got one of my jumps disqualified. Generally got one of my jumps disqualified. Apparently my wheelchair was just over the line. I couldn't really just go over. Yeah. No, but for part of school I was actually in a wheelchair because I do suffer a lot because I'm a dwarf, it's what we do. And there was one lunchtime I was in my wheelchair and this TA came up to me, said, oh George, you need to get out of the chair, get moving a bit, get your legs working. I went, yeah, that's fine. So I was hobbling out the chair, so really shaking, get the chair. She goes, right, see you later, with the wheelchair. I'm like, wait a minute. Actually, wait an hour, actually, by the time I got around. Yeah, she'd just gone with the wheelchair. Then the bell rang for the next lesson, so my mates went, right, see you later, George. Like, you bastards! So I've got to get to the other end of the school, hobbling. Going. But by the time I got to my lesson, they put me into a maths problem. They went, if George had left the park at 12:02 p.m, and he was walking 0.1 centimetres per half an hour, how long would it take him to get here? But of course, by the time I got to my lesson, it was history. Now, in one of my other lessons, maths, in maths, back in my day, I don't know if anybody my age remembers a website called My Maths. Yeah, yes, you do. I'm going to bet 100 quid you do not remember your password. No. Basically, your password is 3 random letters. That bit is very important. Remember that, random letters. I remember mine. Because my first letter that this algorithm had given me was E. The second letter this algorithm gave me was L. You may start me to pick up the word now. Third letter, F. I was bullied by an algorithm. Teacher said, do you want another one? I went, yeah, yes please. He went, right, your next one. B-I-G. Oh, come on! But obviously, as I said, I was the only dwarf in the school, and I had mates in higher years. And when they were getting to the end of their school, they've got, I don't know if you remember the big black leather jackets they used to get. And me being an idiot went, oh, let me wear one please, during lunchtime. And maybe being the other bigger idiot went, yeah, sure. So he gave me this big, massive jacket. I then pegged it. I was running around like a little bat dwarf. And he was trying to chase me. And that on its own just looks creepy. A guy tried to chase a dwarf for his jacket, don't ask. But I was running down this hill once and I tripped. Yeah, that was his face as well. It landed straight into the mud. But I really want to know the teacher's reaction when he got into the classroom and went, what happened to your jacket, Danny? Sorry, it's dirty, miss. I gave it to a dwarf and he legged it. You gave your jacket to a dwarf? Yeah. Okay. But But, like, also one of the other lessons was PE, and I hated PE, obviously because I can't do anything. Especially rounders, hated rounders. Because all the other kids, when it was my turn to bat, would go, oh, it's only George, let's get in close, get in close. So I used to be cocky with them. Because obviously at my height, you can imagine what level I am. Yeah. I used to accidentally let go of the bat. Accidentally, you know. Oh, what a shame, you're on the floor. Welcome. Yeah, he then changed classes, that guy. Don't know why, don't know if it was to do with me. But one of the weirdest questions I ever got asked at school, and this is, again, genuinely true, I got asked. One of the students came up to me and went, George, is there, like, schools, but, like, only for dwarfs? I went, pardon? I went, yeah, is there, like, dwarf-only schools? So I looked at him and went, you're asking me, a dwarf in a normal school, if there are schools built for us, why would I be here if there was? Why would I be at a place that's, I can't reach anything, I get bullied, and it takes me half an hour to get from one end to the other? Obviously, I wasn't going to tell him I hadn't filled out my PDF yet, so I couldn't technically go to the school. I think I'm going to leave you on that. Thank you very much. Good night!
Come on, a bit more for Mr. George Coppen. How good was that? George, that was that good. You can use that Warwick Daily shit again if you want.